To start with the orders page, we need to create the API. So let's go to the backend code, and here we'll add the API to fetch all the orders. So if we'll go to the order controller. Okay, so we have currently two request methods. One is post mapping and another is also post mapping to update the payment. Now here we'll add get mapping to basically to get the orders, but these orders will get it as per the user basis, like the user which has logged in. For that user will fetch the order details. So let's add here public response entity. In the response entity, we'll return a list of orders. Basically, we'll create a custom class or a Pojo class, the custom response that will return it from the this API. So let's add here get order by user. Now this get order by user will expect here there should be an token that should be passed from the API to get that order details. So let's add here the DTOs that we needed to return the response. Uh, the DTO we needed is order details. Let's use these annotations here. So now in the order details, uh, okay, so now in the order details, the fields that we required, the fields that we need to return it. First, we need to return the ID for the order, and let's have other fields that required private date, order date. Basically, this is we can refer it from the entity order. Here we do need address. So we have added all the fields that needed in this class order details. Now here we need basically also we need to add the order item details. So I'm going to add here order item details class, order item details, and let's give it here order item detail, order item list. So in the order item detail class, we needed the fields related to the order items. So let's add here private UUID. So this is basically refer it from the entity that we have here order item. So that's a private product, private UUID, and here we product variant ID, private integer quantity, private double item price. So these are all are the fields that I've added here for the order item details, and this is basically will refer from this from this class. Now this order item details we need to return it from this controller. Let's add here list of order item details. So order details, not order. Okay, so now here let's add the list order details, orders equal to order service dot get order by user, and here we'll pass the user name, the principal name, and from here we'll return the response entity, and in the response entity we'll return the orders. Let's now add this method in the order service class. So here first we'll fetch the details of the user, if that user is found in the database or not. Let's add here user equal to user detail service dot load by username, and here let's pass the name. Now here we'll call list order uh, orders order detail order repository dot find by user. So let's add here in the order repository find by user list of order find by user, and here we'll pass the user. So once we get the orders from the order repository by the user, then we need to map it to this class order details class. So here we'll do the mapping and return the orders dot stream dot map return order details dot builder dot id order dot get id, and similarly we'll set all other details that required to map. For the order item list, here we'll do order get item details. Let's pass the order dot get order item list dot expected delivery date order dot get expected delivery date dot build, and this method, let's create this method here. and from this method we'll return order item. So here first we'll for each order item list, basically we'll iterate the order of item list and map it to the order item detail. Let's add the annotations here. Now these all are the items that we have mapped it in the order item list, and let's do here to list. So this is the response that will return it from the API that we have created uh, to get the orders by an user. And now for the address at here, let's change this to e.eagle because we are fetching it with the data. So at here also, let's change it to eagle. Now let's start this application. Also in the order controller at here we need to map it with the URL. So after order we'll give the URL u/user. Now let's start this application. Okay, so let's go back to the UI code. At here in the order.js, we'll fetch the order details for the users. So let's go to the API folder. At here in the user info, let's add one more method that will basically fetch the order for the user. So here let's add method fetch order API. Fetch order, and here let's give it user. Also we need one more method later for this order related to cancel the order. When we'll display the order, we need to cancel we need if user want to cancel it, so we'll call the cancel order API to cancel the order. So let's add here cancel slash id, and this will be post. So let's go back to the order file, order.js component. Now in this order.js component, first let's add the things that we required in this component, like dispatch, use dispatch, and then we require here all the orders, constant all orders. This will fetch it from the store, from the state. use selector, and let's add here constant orders, set orders e- equal to use state. Now in the use effect, we'll call basically the that API that we have added, fetch orders. So here let's add dispatch set loading true. Now here we'll call that fetch order API dot then response. So here let's set it false, the loader. Once we get the API response, let's add here dispatch. Now once we get the details from the API, the order details, then we need to set it in the store. So let's add few functions, few methods that we need to add it in the reducer. So let's go to here in the user, and at here we have a initial state user info. We'll add orders, and now here we'll add load orders state action. This load orders, we'll export it from this file, and let's dispatch it from here. Load orders response. Okay, now once we get that order details, we need to basically display first the active orders. So for that, let's add here use effect. Now here we'll add constant display orders, and let's do all orders. Also here for the all orders, we need to add it here of selector in the store. So let's add here export constant select all orders state dot user state dot use orders, and this selector will use it at here in the orders. Okay, so all orders dot map order. Now here we'll do uh, display orders dot push. Basically, we'll push the fields that we required to display in the component. So let's put it here id order dot id. Then we need order date, Now for the status, here we need one field that we need is order status. So let's add here order status. That is the actual status of the order. Order dot order status, and then here we do need uh, here basically we'll check order dot order status is equal to pending for order dot order status is equal to in progress. In progress will set it once the payment is done. So this we need to update in the API for is equal to ship, then we'll set the order is active. Otherwise, if order uh, dot order status is equal to delivered, or let's say this let's say delivered, then we'll set it here order. We'll set it here completed, or otherwise order dot order status. So if it is cancelled, then we need to basically set it the cancelled. So basically we'll use filter on the UI active, completed, and cancelled. So if we have checked here, we have checked it all the things that can be come in the order status, else it will be the order status will be cancelled. Okay. Now let's add here items. Now here we'll set it the order items. Order dot order item. So this will get it from the response order item list dot map order item. Now here we'll return id order item dot id name. Let's map all other fields. So this name will get it from the order item dot product dot name and product dot price, and URL will get it from product dot resources URL slug. So now we'll this uh, have set it in the display order, and now here we'll set it the orders, set orders display orders. So now here, let's return it the div. Here we'll check order orders dot length. And now here we'll set it div class name for the medium width 70% as width full. Let's justify between. Let's set it here heading 1 my orders last name text to Excel and some bottom margin, and here we'll set select class name rounded large, some mm, bottom margin, and let's add the padding value and on change. Here let's set it one state. Basically it will contain which filter it has selected. Selected filter, set selected filter, use state. So by default the filter selected is active. Now this set selected filter here will select the value of selected filter, and let's add the options here. Option active, cancelled, or completed. And let's give the values here. So for the active the value will be active. Cancelled, then completed. Okay, so for the orders here, it is calling the fetch orders API, and these all are the order details that we are getting it from the backend. These are the filters that we need to change it. The if we want to change the display the orders cancelled, then we can change it here, the cancelled and completed orders, so we can see the all orders and filter it on the UI. Now let's add here on change handler. handle on change, and this will use it at here on change. Now if we set change it here, this selected value, it will be display the selected one. Okay, now here we'll iterate the orders that we need to display on the UI. So let's do orders dot map. So here, so here we'll set div uh, key index and class name, background gray, some padding, and margin bottom. First we'll display the order number. Just comment it this for once we're done with this, we'll uncomment this. Or let's justify between. Now in the first row for the column, so here we'll set it uh, order date. Now for the order date, here we'll use our library moment. So let's install the moment here in our terminal, npm install. So here we'll do movement order dot order date dot format. So this is the order date that we are displaying it in UI. And now here we'll set it the expected delivery date. So now here we are not going to use the expected delivery date that is coming from backend. We'll just add a number here because some date we are not basically uh, tracking the order live. So let's just add it here, some number in the date days. So the expected delivery date would be October 24 if it is placed on 21. So mm, it's the same div order status. Now, if you see the order, some of the order, the filter here is active, but still we see the orders, all the orders here cancelled and pending. And if we set it cancelled, in that also we see all the order details. So what we need to do is we need to add here order dot order status is equal to selected filter and now if we go back to UI, so this all are cancelled order. For the active we don't see. I think we are using the incorrect field. Here we do need to use the status because in the status we have mapped it. So let's add its status here. Now we see the active orders at here, and if we change it to cancelled, we see the cancelled orders in the cancelled field state. So this only two orders are in active state. And here let's add button view details. We need to add one more state here, constant selected order, set selected order. Basically, the order that we'll select it will display some more details. Set selected order, view state. Let's give it empty. So here we do set selected order, order dot ID. And let's style this link text blue, mm, red, text right, rounded, underline. This is for the view details. And now after this div, we'll say here if the selected order is equal to order route ID and we need to add one more div here. So let's do this. So now here we'll do order dot items dot map order item index return class name lex gap. So now here first is display the image source order item dot URL and let's set it the width and height here. Width is 120 pixel, height we needed 20 pixel, object cover, margin and rounded. And with the image, we needed the details for that item. Let's add a div here. Item dot name and quantity. So these are the details that we are displaying for the order. If we change it to cancelled orders and see the details here, these are the details that we can check it in the order. And for the completed, there are no any completed orders. So now here we'll add some more details like the price and order tracking details. For order tracker, will display a timeline. So let's go to here. Now here we'll add one div total. This is for the total amount field. Order the total amount like this. Let's give a dollar here. And also we'll give a button here to hide the details similar to the like this. And here we'll check if dot order status is not equal to cancelled, then we'll display a timeline. So for the timeline component, I'm going to add a component here, the timeline folder. Now this is the component that I've added it for the timeline. So in the timeline component, we have a step count prop, and according to the prop, we are displaying the ring and the vertical lines, sorry, the horizontal lines. So this is basically some styling and HTML that I have put it in this component. So this code will be available on GitHub, so you can just check it out, the timeline component. Let's go back to the order file, and now here we'll need to call this component timeline. So let's say if I'm passing step count 1, I will see if the step count it is at here at 1, and for the cancelled order will not have that details, the tracking order tracking details, because this order already has been cancelled. So let's add in the utils file uh, a function get order get step count. So I'm going to add here export constant get step count. So let's say if the order status is let's put it find the all the order state that we have put it in the enum. Yeah, if it is pending. Also, let's add one more here in progress. For the cancel, we don't need it because we'll uh, not going to display that timeline for the cancel order. Now let's use here get step count order dot order status. So both the orders are in pending state. That's why we do see order placed only. Now what we can do here, so for the order service, when we are updating the order payment, let's go to order controller here. And when we are updating the status payment, so here we'll set it order dot set order status dot in progress. So with this, we'll get the status in progress. Now let's try to place one order, place a new order here. We'll go to the women category. So here let's add some products in the cart. So this is our cart. Let's increase this quantity to 2. So we are going to place the order at here, and let's select the date. So by doing this, if you get any issue on the backend with the order status, so we need to remove the constraint from the DB. So let's do pay now. Let's complete the payment. Okay, so the order has been placed. Now we'll go back to the account section inside orders. So now we see one order here in progress, the order that we have placed, and we do see the two quantity and total amount, and in the timeline we see here the it set it to in progress. This the orders that are in pending state, that is in order placed, and for this in progress order we have the status in progress. So this is how we can track the order. So from the backend, the from the admin panel, we'll basically need to update the status of the order, and then user can able to see the order status in the account section inside orders in the order details. And here we do see all the orders that has been cancelled. Now this is something that we are displaying the orders in active state. Now the orders that are not shipped, we can even cancel it and refund the amount. So let's add a cancel button here for canceling, for giving the option to the user to cancel the order. So in this same file, if the order status is not cancelled, and also here we check one more condition. If this step is less than equal to 2, and you will display a button to cancel the order. Let's give a width here with 120 pixel. Don't need underline and this. So this is the button for canceling the order. Now in the backend, let's have one API that basically will use uh, for canceling the order. Now at here, let's add the API to cancel the order. So here let's add post mapping, cancel, cancel order. Now here we'll call order service dot cancel order. Let's put it at here, and here we'll pass ID and the principal object, and here we'll do return new response entity http status dot okay. Let's add a method here. Now in this method, first we'll fetch the user detail. User detail service dot load by username principal dot get name, and here we do order order repository dot get find by id. If null is not equal to order, and then order dot get user dot get id dot equals user dot get id. We'll set it order dot set order status dot cancelled, and here logic to refund amount. Then we'll set it order repository dot save order, else here we'll throw new runtime exception invalid request. And let's restart this application. In the UI, let's have a function here for canceling the order. Constant on cancel order, use callback id. Now once we set or once we cancel the order, then we'll call cancel order dispatch here. We'll basically dispatch cancel order function, the reducer. Let's add here cancelled order state, which here we do return the state orders. Here return state dot orders dot map. Now here we'll check if order dot id equals action dot payload, then we'll return. So now here we don't need to remove the order from the state because that will still display in the cancelled filter page. So we just basically need to remove it. We need to soft remove from the state. So for that we'll set it here only the status cancelled order, because in on the backend also we are not removing the record, we are setting the status cancelled. If not, here return order. And let's export this method at here, cancel order. And let's use this function at here, cancel order. Here we'll set it order dot id. Now if we want to cancel this order, we're getting some error. Okay, now we see here two orders, and let's try to cancel the one order. Think there is something wrong here. Let's check it out. So the orders that we are dispatching here, dispatch cancel order. So we need to do it here state.orders.map. Let's try it. Let's place one more order. Now we'll go to the orders. So let's cancel this order. Yeah, now we do see here one order is still here on the active page. That order is still in progress, and all other cancelled orders we see it here. This is the orders that we have cancelled. So this is the account section page where we are displaying profile, orders, and this settings page. On this setting page, we will basically can log out. So the API that we are using to fetch the orders, that is take time to fetch all the orders from the DB. So for that, if we want to reduce the time for that API, what we can do, we can add some optimization here, like we can comment this address and other things like order items, only the things that we need to display it on the UI at here, so that we can fetch it from the DB. And then once we click on view details, then we can fetch it only for that particular single item, the details from the DB. So that will basically save the time to calculate from the DB and to run the queries. So yeah, this is something that optimization that we can do in the backend. Okay, so now next we are going to start on the admin panel. In the admin panel, will be have a product and order page where we can edit the product details or creating a new products, adding new categories, or updating the order details. So for the admin panel, I'm going to use here React admin. React Admin is this open source framework for creating the admin panels. Now here the React Admin we are going to integrate with our application. Now this React Admin as is a vast topic which can need to create the actual UI. So this will be this gonna be take time for creating the entire admin panel. So here we are just going to cover few things. So when user will log in inside the application, and if that user has a admin access, then that user will see a link to manage the admin, and in the admin panel we'll be able to manage product and orders. So here the first thing that we need to do is let's do npm installed react admin, and in the route.js, and here we'll add one more path slash admin to start, and here we'll give the element. Now in the pages, uh, let's create add a one folder for the admin panel, admin panel dot js protected route admin panel. Now this admin panel is basically will integrate this component. Basically we'll use it at here. Uh, let's go to the our component for the account section. Now in the account section, will be have one link here. So when we log in to this application, if we see the network tab, then the response here, we are getting that authority list, and in the authority list, we are getting the role called admin. So if we do get this authority in the response, that means this user has an admin access. Now to check that admin access, we need to add one selector in the store at here. Let's add a selector export constant. Select is user admin state, where we do state dot user state dot user info dot authority list dot find authority authority dot report admin, and here we set if authority equal to admin. So it will return true or false. Now we'll use this selector here in the account page. So now let's use this. Okay, now in the account page, this user. So now at here, we'll set, we check if is user admin and view. So here let's add a link, manage admin. Some styling. Now we do get here that link. When we click on the link, it will open a page for the admin. So in the admin panel, now here the admin panel, now here we'll integrate the React admin. So for the React admin, if we start it with React admin now here, uh, basically in the component, we have to provide at the top level admin component. And here we can pass the data provider. So even we can connect the React admin with the custom backend API. So if let's say if this is the React admin for panel, the portal, the UI component, and it has a data query, data provider. That data provider we can set it at the top level in the component. This basically help to perform the operation and to fetch the data from the data provider that internally use call the backend API system using the fetch API. Now here we'll set up few things that we required. Here we'll call slash the here we'll call admin. Let's import this admin and here we'll pass the data provider. So let's add here the HTTP client URL. So here basically we'll pass the token that we needed for the backend API, local storage dot get item or token. If not options, options dot header equal to new headers, and here we set the options dot headers dot set authorization barrier token, and let's return here return fetch utils dot fetch JSON URL options, and here constant data provider simple rest So we need to install one more dependency here, npm install data simple rest. This is needed for the React admin to basically uh, provide the data provider. So let's import the simple rest provider for our data simple rest, and with this we can pass the URL, our API URL. Now if we go to this is the React admin panel, and now here if we pass if we need to create any resource, we have to use the resource uh, component here, and in the resource component we can pass its name products. So if we need any resource, basically we need to provide it like this. Now let's say for the list, here we can have new file product list. Let's set here a base name slash admin. So like this, we can build the UI for the admin panel using React admin. Now this resource name products and the product list. Here we can simply call all that components that we need to render it. Like for the edit, if we need to edit any record, then we can pass it here the edit component. Also for create, we can pass it the create. Now let's add here the components that we needed, like edit product, and here we do need create product. So this URL, basically, if we uh, with this basically if we want to test it from the private window, here we'll not able to log in if there is no any authentication token has been saved in the storage. So this is what this is why we are integrating it with this application. So there will no one who has, like, if the user does not have the access of admin role, that cannot be accessed this admin portal. Now in the product list, so if we go to this documentation and this resource, so the resource component is basically used for providing some resource in the admin panel. Let's say if we see in our application, the resource can be product, orders, categories, all that. Now for the list, we need to define it like this. List books, like this is the example. So for the product list, let's add few things here. List data grid and text field disabled. Source. Source is basically used to define the field that we need to uh, refer it from the JSON response. Let's say the JSON response that it will return, and the field that we want to display, like here the name, product name. So now if we say from the DB, from the backend. So this is what the benefit of this React admin. We don't have to call any externally the API. Everything it's doing by the data provider. But we do see here error. Uh, the content range header is missing from the HTTP response. So this header we need to set it uh, for. So this header we need to pass it in the response in our APIs. Let's go to the backend support here, and in the product controller here I will set it, let's say HTTP servlet content range product list dot size, and let's add here string to value of, and let's restart this application. Okay, so we are returning the content range here in the response, but even though due to the course reason it is not allowing it to configured in the API. So we need to set it the access control expose header, that we can set it in the our application. So I'm going to add here. So this is the configuration that I've edited here for the course filter, and here allowing the uh, expose headers, the content range. Now let's restart this application. So now if I go back to browser here, now we do see here all that records. So now here, let's add few more fields like image field. This is very simple. Like here, from the response, we are getting the image in our thumbnail field. So we can set it thumbnail, and here we go. We can able to see the images. So I'm going to add all other fields that we needed, like brand, description, price, love. So this is how we can display this data on the page at the admin page. So here we get just few minutes to build this. This is how we can build it other pages like the order and categories. Now if we click on particular page, it will display the edit product page. Now the edit product uh, page, let's go to the edit product page. So if we see in the documentation, so in there are some examples also that we can follow. Uh, like here we can found some we can see some examples. This is how we can create a edit form. This is a create form for the edit products. Here we can use edit simple form, text input. So ID cannot be edited. So we can insert it in disable mode. And similarly, we'll add other fields. So this is how we can create an edit form. Here, if we change some content, it will display an option to save the product.